financial issues, support issues as far as F Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And so F Sharp Entertainment, the music side of it starts to slow down.
Yes.
Where do we go from there that starts to get us back to the art? Because I feel like the art started picking up at some point.
All right, so I was out, like, I don't want to get twisted. I'll tell y'all, like, I never stopped doing music. Like, I was always, like, because I had a whole man cave, so I had a whole creative space.
I know you never stopped doing music. I got the song. No, I got them.
So I was like, yo, if it happened, it happened. But, you know, at this point, I'm like, it's going to have to be luck for me to really, like, get known or track down. But in my spare time, I started picking up painting again, and I was just, like, painting and doing little nicks and necks. But every time I would do something, somebody was buying it. And I was like, damn. And then I was doing graphic design. So I was still doing CD covers for people, and I was like, yo, let me expand F Sharp to be like a umbrella, like a whole thing. So I was like, F Sharp Entertainment's still there, but I'm gonna make it F Sharp Studio, so I can do my art stuff too. And then once I got that name, I got it copywritten and all of that stuff. And then I was like, yo, whatever side of this passion gonna make me the most money, and take off first, that's where I'm gonna go. So it was cool, man. Started doing paintings. I still wasn't on like the professional tip yet. I was just doing here and there, nicks and knacks, and whoever bought it. I don't think I really like tapped in until the art side until the marriage fell apart.
Mm.
And then I was just like, well, I ain't got shit else to do. Let's
work on it. Yeah, man. So marriage falls apart. How do you think you took some of whatever you were feeling and put it into your craft at that point?
Yeah. One thing that I'll shout out to the ex-wife again. One thing through all the arguments and the craziness stuff that we had towards the end, one thing that'll resonate with me forever. We were arguing one time, and she said, "You've changed, right?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And she had her reasons as to why she felt that way. But the biggest one, she was just like, when I met you, you were a grinder. She was like, you were grinding. You had 2 jobs. You were doing the music thing. You were going out on shows. You doing this and doing that. And she was like, you just had bigger aspirations. And she was like, somewhere along the line, that went away. And she was like, and that was one of the main things that attracted me to you in the beginning. And then so, now I'm by myself, and I'm just like, damn, I got to do something. I got to grind. Man, where you getting all this stuff from, man? You just like stacking up on stuff.
No, I'm just saying, you said it, man. They gonna love me for what?
Yeah, and that's what it was, man. So when she said that shit, I was like, damn, man, I fell off like that. Why you let me fall off like that? I don't want to fall off like that. So, and shit changed. Like when you by yourself and you got time to like where do you go from here? She not coming back, bro.
Yeah.
If you on your own, like what you gonna do about it? So then the lights started coming on. I'm like, yo, I gotta do more. I gotta do what I was doing before I got married and do all of that. So that's when it really started kicking in heavy. When I got my own space again, I knew. I was like, all right, I want to do this. I'm still doing the music stuff. Still got the studio.
Right.
So we started cranking out music and stuff again. And old friends from Annapolis that I was doing art with. Shout out to Call Brown. He gave me a few opportunities art wise, and that just like every opportunity just excelled it more. Like it was just like lighting the fire more.
Yeah.
So now it's locked in. Like I'm at the point now. It's just like these are my gifts, and this is what I'm gonna continue to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do art. I'm gonna do music.
Yeah.
So every once in a while they be like, "Yo, you still doing the music thing?" I'm like, yeah, it's coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna post something. Don't worry about it. And then it's just waves. So now when I'm doing music, the art fall off a little bit, and then they're like, "Yo, you still paint?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's coming."
Okay,
it's coming.
okay.
So it's still waves. Like I really enjoy TikTok is awesome because it gives me a way to still create music in between times. Like when I'm really doing my art stuff, I can just log on to TikTok, and there's producers everywhere.
Right.
So these producers just be like, yo,
yo,
spit on this, or give me your best R&B on this, and I'm like, that's
right.
30 seconds. I can make a 30-second song.
Right. I don't got to do all the beat. I don't come up with the beat. None of that.
I said, man, this how I feel to be like artist.
It's like SoundCloud.
Right.
SoundCloud.
But even like more accessible, faster. You ain't got to search.
Right.
But it do give you a little taste of it. Like, you know how many beats people send Lil Wayne and just like, yo, hop on this, and then he get to like pick and choose what he want to do. So
that's crazy. Yeah, I never even thought about how a bigger artist is just
imagine what they inbox. They don't even look at it no more. They just like, yo, people send me hundreds of beats a day. And that's kind of what it is like on TikTok now. If you're an artist, their producers ain't even tripping no more. They're not even saying, buy my beat or do this. They're just saying, get on this. And if it blow up on TikTok, we'll follow up.
So now did we skip the art show? Your first art show?
My first one? Yeah.
We skipped that, man.
Not really. My first art show was
amazing. You had tickets; they was $25.
Right, but it was after I dipped out from here.
Yeah.
So
don't.
So we
skip it,
we still on it.
Okay.
We still on it then. So I mean.
So how did that come about? Right, you doing the art at the show. You back on the music thing.
So yeah,
you get connected with Cell and
all right. So the art show was before Cell.
Okay.
So I did skip it. My fault, man. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Can we just start over? No. So cut. Yeah, cut. Man, let's do it all over, man. I should have wrote a timeline down here on
No, but I just don't want to skip that because
that was pivotal.
Yeah, I thought that was
big.
That was the first time I seen a flyer.
Yeah,
you had sent tickets around.
So at the time creativity was flowing, bro. I had my own apartment. I had so much space in my apartment, so I'm just like cranking out art. I just had an art fever, so I was just like making art, and this shit was good. So I was just like, I said, yo, I always wanted to have a show. I gotta do a show.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had 2 jobs. So shout out to the ex. I'm grinding. Right. I got 2 jobs, and I'm just trying to make it work because this is like my first time as an adult, like
on your own,
on my own, trying to survive. So, my part-time job was at this place called Char House in Annapolis, like a fine dining seafood restaurant downtown, right on the water. And we had this big ass banquet hall in there. So I was like, yo, if I have a show, I'm gonna just do it at work because I'll get a mad discount. Like,
yeah,
big
on
time.
The space, right?
On the space and on the food. Like, because I had food there and shit.
Okay.
50% off basically. So I was like, I can work here, and the money the money I earn here, I'm just gonna pay for the show, and it won't affect my bills or whatsoever. So I finessed them because like I had left, and then I came back to the restaurant, but with the idea that I'm only here to get the discount for the show, and then once the show is over, I'm out. I'm not staying here no more because I don't need it. So I put my head down, worked that 6 months, went to the manager, was like, hey, I got this idea. I want to rent out this banquet hall for my art show. And she was so supportive. She was like, yeah, whatever you need. Wrote up the contract, yielded me like $1,200 total is what I would need to make it work.
Right.
So at the time, I'm like, how the hell
get this money, right?
But I was like, I work at Char House. I'm like $300 a night. This is just save it.
Right.
It's nothing. So I got the money together.
Hustling, grinding.
Yeah. Easy. Damn. Now think about it. I'm like, man, I was like, there was no, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes, sir.
Damn. Let me get my shit together. Cause I be falling off still, y'all. I still be falling off. So she was like 1,200. I was like, say less. Yeah. So I had the 1,200 probably 4 months in to that 6 month span, right? So then I started promotion, got the flyers, and then I was like, how can I draw even more people than just the regular folk that's gonna come just because they know me?
Right.
And I was like, fuck it, make it a fundraiser. So, and I was like, well, I ain't just gonna be raising funds for just anybody.
Yeah, any old thing.
I used to work at a school for children with mental and physical disabilities. So I was like, I'm gonna give the money to them.
Right.
Because they need it.
Yeah.
They need it. And I was like, but I don't want to go broke. So I was just like, percentage of the proceeds.
Right.
So I think I ended up doing like 30% or something like that. And I was like, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, man.
So
give with a purpose.
Right. So all the artwork that I did over like probably like since I left, he was my roommate for a little while. Since I left here, to the new spot. I mean, my man looked out for me, man. Look, we skipped that part in the thing, but this dude was my rock for a little bit, man. He got me through. But when I, from that, it was like a 2.5 year span of just creating. I was like, I'm putting it all in there.
Putting that work in.
Right. And then so, the show comes up. I have everything everything I created was in there. Mm-hmm. It turned out great. Like this was big. Like this ain't nobody ever have no art show downtown Annapolis, in a place that wasn't designed to have art. Like we were in a fancy restaurant. So not only did people that I invite.
How creative. You got let's unpack that for a second. You working at a place, right? Mm-hmm. You grinding, you doing whatever you got to do. You working 2 jobs, painting on the side to get that, hustle those. Because you were selling those too at the time, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you hustling, you working 3 jobs technically. And then you're at work and you see an opportunity, right? You
and that joint just came up like, boop.
And then you seize the opportunity. They write you a contract, right? So you take that action, get the contract. You still don't even know how you're going to come up with the bread.
I didn't. But I was like, they going to want this money.
Right.
Before I get.
Then you hustle that bread up.
Yeah.
And now you done had an art show at a place that doesn't even that would never have art there. Like you would have a dinner there, you would have a business meeting.
Maybe they did weddings in the banquet. I mean, not in the banquet hall, but in the main dining room. Yeah. Like during it, because they opened at 4. Okay. So they could do like a small wedding, move all the tables out because you could still see the water. It was a really nice view. Mm-hmm. But never, bro. They ain't never have no art show in there.
You had the first art show at shop.
The only art show. Ain't nobody else did that shit.
Oh, come on, now.
Bro. But it was it was by mistake, bro. Like I invited all these people and they showed up, so I was overwhelmed with that. But like I didn't even consider the people that just came there to eat. And they would walk by and be like, what's this? So then they walk in. Right. So I'm like, yo, I had 100 people show up. And then the other 150 that were just there for dinner walked in too. Because they're like, can we come in? I'm like, hell yeah, you can come in.
Wow.
So
just think about that. Like you said, not understanding marketing and business. It's not always about understanding marketing and business. It's about just hustling up, bro. Because you're talking about it now, and you're like, "Wow."
It hit me just now because I'm just like, but yo, I was.
But we come up with excuses of why we can't do stuff all the time.
Yeah,
and you just wanting to do something created a situation for yourself, and this is the stuff that the self-help people talk about, or people who be hustling and doing a bunch of stuff always talk about. But this is real, dog. Like